Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Be Limitless stream. We will start in a couple of minutes just to allow a few more people to join the call. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes to start. All right, so let's get started. Guys, thank you so much for joining this call. I'm not sure what time it is in your time zone, but wherever you are, welcome to the Be Limitless stream, where today we will be talking about AI stocks, robotic stocks, and some crypto price predictions. Where do I think that prices are going? Now that the Fed had cut the rates by 0.5%, this is supposed to be positive for the market. So let's talk about it and let's break down what exactly is happening in the market. And I'm going to start sharing the screen, but I'm going to start by talking basically about the impact that the Fed rate cut has in the market and the impact that the liquidity that will come to the market will have in prices and so on. So give me just a second. All right. I hope you can see my screen. I think you can see it. And what I want to show here is that so this is basically the US M2 money supply. And if we put here the maximum, as you can see, since 1959, the M2 money supply has been increasing, right? And during the COVID lockdowns, during the COVID phase, there was a huge surge in M2 money supply. If I put here the 10 years, you can see this huge increase in M2 money supply. M2 money supply basically represents the entire circulating, entire money, quantity of money circulating in the economy. And then once the Fed started to cut rates and they started to do quantitative tightening, the uh, money supply went down, but now is increasing again. And if we put here the 1 year, we can see that August, so last month, was the month with the highest money printing that we had. And the importance of this money printing is that this money that is printed, part of it ends up going to investable assets and ends up going to the stock market, to crypto, to Bitcoin, and it always has a positive impact in the market. So I want to switch here charts, and what I want to show you here, what you see is here is the bar chart is the S&P 500, while the red line is the US money supply. And I guess you can see that is quite clear here, right? That there is a correlation between both. You can see that the lines kind of go hand in hand, right? And if I add the correlation coefficients to see how correlated these two lines actually are, you will see that they are very, very correlated. Sorry, my computer seems to be a bit slow. Let me try again. Yes, USM2. Okay. So in the short term, might not have that much correlation, but let me put here 120. So this is like 10 years approximately. No, it doesn't show. Just a second. Need to put a shorter time frame. 2000. If we put 2000 days, it will show 96% correlation. Okay. So these two assets are 96% correlated, the M2 money supply and the S&P 500. So you know that if the Federal Reserve prints money, the S&P 500 will for sure go up because there is a 96% correlation. And the same actually happens with Bitcoin. The correlation coefficient between the M2 money supply and Bitcoin is something like 87%. I could add here the correlation coefficient to Bitcoin, but basically it's like 87% or something like that, meaning that Bitcoin is a little bit more uncorrelated, but it's still very correlated to the M2 money supply. So if they print money, this basically says that if they print money, crypto, Bitcoin, stock market will go up, 100% sure. By the way, if you don't have TradingView account, you should take a look at it because I do tons of indicators and analysis on TradingView. And one of the recent scripts that I have created, one of the recent indicators that I have created that got a lot of traction is this money flow divergence. And what it shows is basically the divergence between the M2 money supply, so how much money they are printing, and whether the stock market or whatever is the asset that you are analyzing is going up or down. So you see that when you have these very large green candles, the stock market is diverging negatively from the M2 money supply. And every time that this happens, the stock market goes up and the markets after that go up. And why? It's because basically this liquidity that exists in the market will pull the markets back up. But I will let you perhaps take a look at this indicator later. But yeah, basically going back to the S&P 500, S&P 500 just reached new all-time highs. People have been talking about recession. Unemployment rate starts to go up. Consumer confidence is going down already for a while. The yield curves and all those things are quite negative and indicate a possible recession in the economy. But despite that, the stock market continues to go up. So my recommendation in these kind of situations is, you know, don't listen to this fear. Just stay invested, right? Because if you are a long-term investor, no matter what, if there is liquidity in the market, things will go up. And this is what we have seen in the market, right? If you, once they started to talk, people, media, financial advisors, they started to talk about recession and all that stuff in late 22, throughout 2023. If you didn't buy or if you sold your stocks, your crypto, whatever, during this period because you were afraid of a recession, you would have missed these huge gains, right? So S&P 500, for example, went here from October 23 until now, went up almost 40%. Right? Same for NASDAQ. NASDAQ is close to all-time high, is just 3 or 4% away, 3.5% away from all-time highs. Gold is also at all-time high. So if you gifted your partner any golds, congratulations, doing very well. So it's very interesting. And Bitcoin is not doing too bad. Let me do a little bit analysis on Bitcoin. And after looking at Bitcoin and Solana, let's go and look at AI stocks and robotics. But Bitcoin, let me show you here some of the analysis that I've been doing. Let me open this one and this one and this one. And I'll tell you where do I think Bitcoin is going by the end of the year. So one important thing, again, it has to do, it's related to the liquidity in the market, is that when there is more liquidity in the markets, there is more chance that markets will go up. And this also happens not only in the stock market. We were just talking about the liquidity related to the US money supply, right? But also liquidities in the crypto market that are represented by things like stable coins, USDT, USDC, DAI, and so on. And what we can see here is that in blue, what you have here is the market cap of USDT, USDC, and DAI, the three biggest stablecoins in the market. And there is a divergence here, as you can see. Typically, they go hand in hand. They are highly correlated, but there is a divergence here. So Bitcoin has been going down while the total market cap of stablecoins has been going up. And there are many indicators that over the last year or so have been doing very well for Bitcoin, including like not only this that we are looking at here at the moment, but also the mining hash rate is now at all-time highs, and it has been increasing a lot. And this simply means that miners continue to really believe on the future of Bitcoin. Miners continue to invest in Bitcoin, in Bitcoin mining equipment, right? But going back here to the liquidity, what we see is that according to the current volume of in the current market cap of stablecoins, Bitcoin price should be around 73K. So actually, when I did this analysis, Bitcoin was at 58. And if I click here, this button, you can see that, yeah, it has been going up. And according to these, Bitcoin should be at a 73,000 level. Now, by the way, I do believe that Bitcoin will go up in the future, but no one can be 100% sure, of course. And what I want to say is that I think there is a likelihood of like 60% that Bitcoin will continue to go up over the next few months, 1 year. There is never 100% chance, right? There is no such thing. There is no one in the world that can say 100% sure Bitcoin will go up. So I think it will like 60% chance, a bit over 50%. And that's why you should have a well-diversified portfolio. Don't put all the eggs in the same basket. Invest in different assets, right? Stocks, ETFs, gold, also Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, highly diversified. Because if Bitcoin doesn't go up, it's fine. There are other assets that will go up. Okay, but according to this analysis here, I think Bitcoin will go to the 73K level. Then I have another one here that shows that Bitcoin could be breaking out this channel, this descending channel. And if we press here, we see that, yes, if it breaks out, it will probably go back to the 74,000 level, the previous all-time high. And my prediction for the end of the year, it's a range between 66 and 95,000 by the end of the year. Probably most likely something around 70, something between 70 to 80,000. But yeah, this is what I think Bitcoin is going to be by the end of the year. And again, no one can be 100% sure of this, but I think there is a high likelihood that Bitcoin will be around this range. Then let's go to take a look at the Solana. Solana has been, touching again and again this very strong support level, and probably Solana will end up the year, probably at the level of the previous resistance, maybe $180 price. Again, I think there is maybe 50-60% chance that Solana will go back to this level, so not too bad. All right, so I think we have spent almost half of the time already talking about crypto. So let's switch to AI stocks and where do I think AI is going. And if you follow me already on Medium, you know that I very often talk about AI. And very soon I will be publishing an article. I'm a true believer that AGI, artificial general intelligence, will come very, very fast. We will have very soon explosive AI growth. And this AI will be smarter than a million PhDs together working at 100 times the speed of a million PhDs together. And this will happen very fast. And once it happens, what I talk in this article is that once this happens, there will be an explosive growth, because then we don't need humans researching AI and developing AI for AI to be smarter. The AI itself researcher, and there will be these automated AI research that will totally explode AI capabilities. So AI is not going back. The genie is out of the box, and there is no way that we are going back in time and AI will be less smart or we will use less AI. Everyone is using AI, and this is really disrupting many different technologies. Let me give you here another example. Where is that? Yes, here. So Klarna is a big financial company. They are cutting 50% of the workforce, and in partnerships with Salesforce, amid generative AI overall. So basically, they are replacing their IT systems and their workers with AI. And they are even stopped using Salesforce. Salesforce is a CRM system, super popular, but not super user friendly. And you have here an example of a big company that is cutting off Salesforce because they are replacing it with their own AI tools. That makes you think a lot, right? And you have here, I would also recommend to read Anderson Horowitz's Death of a Salesforce, Why AI Will Transform the Next Generation of Sales Tech. Super interesting. And it basically explains how AI is replacing like traditional ERPs and CRM systems. Super interesting reading. But going back to AI, I think AI and humanoid robots will really be a big thing, and I'm heavily invested in these technologies. I wrote this article very recently where I talk about 5 different companies: Unitree, Tesla, Boston Dynamics, Agility Robotics, and Uptech. Not all these companies you can directly invest in them. Unitree is owned majority by venture capital firms, so it's not publicly traded. Tesla, you can buy the Tesla stock, and Elon Musk is heading Tesla. He believes that we'll have, according to him, millions of humanoid robots. I think it's a bit exaggerated, but there is a huge potential there. Boston Dynamics is owned by Hyundai, the Korean company. You could eventually buy the Hyundai stock. I'm not going to do it because it's a Korean company and you are exposed to the currency exchange risk. Agility Robotics, it's owned by venture capital firms. One of the VCs investing is the Amazon VC. So if you have the Amazon stock, you are a bit exposed to Agility Robotics. And then finally, you have Uptech. Uptech is a Chinese company. So I bought a stock of Uptech through the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So this is one of the ways I'm kind of exposing myself to the AI craziness, but let me share actually like my full portfolio so that you can actually see how I'm exposed at the moment to AI. So here you have, let me organize this by value. So these are my biggest holdings. At the moment, I have Palantir in terms of AI. You can say, I think you can say it's an AI company. Unity is more a company to develop games, but they are putting a lot of AI into their tech. Meta, Tesla, Adobe, CrowdStrike, all these companies have a very heavy AI component. Then we have Amazon, of course, also very strong AI component, especially through the AWS, Amazon Web Services, right? It's the biggest cloud computing provider and obviously huge AI infrastructure provider. And you have Autodesk, NVIDIA, AMD, ServiceNow, and what else? AI related? Datadog, it's data centers. Snowflake, more data centers. And yeah, and Intel. You have probably noticed I have NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. So I have the 3 biggest chip companies and GPU companies. Why? It's like, I know that AMD and Intel are way far in terms of market share when compared to NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is really the market leader, and they totally have like 95% of the GPU market, especially for inference, for AI inference. But saying this, at the moment, what we see in the market is that NVIDIA is kind of overpriced, while companies like AMD and the Intel are kind of underpriced, and that's why I have also some stocks in these other companies, including AMD and Nvidia and Intel. Yeah, and this is pretty much my AI stock holdings. Now let's take a look at the biggest investors. Let's start by looking at Gotham Asset Management, Joel Greenblatt, and he has here also some interesting companies: Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Snowflake, Meta Platforms, Qualcomm. So also heavily exposed to tech and AI. And the reason why I want to show you these investors is so that you see like where are the big whales investing, right? Then you have Fun Smith, Terry Smith, Microsoft, Meta, Google, and that's it in terms of AI. Tudor Investments, Paul Tudor Jones. You have here Microsoft, Qualcomm, and I think that's it. Some Apple, Oak Tree. Let's see the holdings of Oak Tree. I really like Oak Tree. Been following them for a while. Actually, not much in terms of AI here. Yeah. Bridgewater Associates from Ray Dalio, Google, Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. The big ones are here. So if Ray Dalio believes in these companies, I also believe, right? Then we have Bill Ackman, Google. Yep, I think only Google is his biggest AI play. Michael Burry have some Alibaba, Baidu, JD. So these are three Chinese companies. I personally don't invest in Chinese companies because of the political instability. But yeah, if you are, if your risk appetite allows you to invest in Chinese companies, yeah, go ahead. And then David Tepper, he has also some Alibaba, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Oracle, AMD, Adobe, Qualcomm, Baidu. So these are his biggest holdings related to AI. And what else do I have here to share with you regarding AI? Yeah, I mean, I think these are the companies that I wanted to share. And oh yeah, I know now. And if you want more like a hands-off way of investing in AI, let me be honest. Like AI-related companies are really dominating Nasdaq. So if you invest in a Nasdaq ETF, there are tons of Nasdaq ETFs. Just first search for Nasdaq ETFs, or you can invest. I personally also like to invest in leveraged Nasdaq ETFs. So you have the traditional Nasdaq ETFs like this. What's the name? QQQ. Okay. You have QQQ is the most well-known Invesco QQQ ETF, normal ETF. Then you have like QLD. QLD is 2 times Nasdaq. It's leveraged 2x. QLD. And then you have triple Q. Okay, again, this will depend on your risk appetite. Okay, I'm not recommending, like, not everyone should be investing in leverage ETFs. I do it, but I have a smaller percentage of my portfolio, maybe around 10%, investing in leverage ETFs. But I just want to show you here the power of leverage ETFs. If I put here the 1 year chart, for example, Nasdaq went up 36%. QLD went up 67%. It's 2x leverage, Nasdaq. And triple Q, 98%, almost 100%. Right? If I put the 5-year chart, you see very interesting results. So the 2021-22 crash, it crashed really hard, but in the meantime, already recovered also very hard, right? So the 5-year performance, you have 155% Nasdaq, 220% for QLD, and 377% for triple Q, which is a lot considering like this big correction here that we had here. But now the point is, if you believe that AI is really going to revolutionize, the industry, and it is going to move us forward way faster and propel the economy, maybe having a little bit of exposure to Nasdaq leverage ETFs can be interesting. Maybe just to close this call, let me just show you some. Let me ask FinChat. FinChat, I really like to ask FinChat questions. So let me ask Nasdaq companies by market cap. So it's going to give us a list of the Nasdaq companies by market cap. And you'll see what I mean by you will be already very exposed to AI if you invest in a Nasdaq ETF or even a Nasdaq leverage ETFs, because you have basically Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, Tesla. Costco is not so much AI. AMD, Adobe, you know what I mean? Like Cisco, Qualcomm, Texas Instruments, like you have tons of Honeywell. You have tons of companies here that are heavily into AI. Some of them might fall behind in this AI race, but many of them will also do very well. So if you don't know exactly where to invest, a Nasdaq ETF, I'm also pretty sure that the Nasdaq ETF will do pretty well. All right, guys, I think we are already overrunning a bit the 30 minutes, but it was a pleasure to be here with you. I hope you enjoyed this call. Join me on the next one. And if you have any questions on investing in stocks, in crypto, in AI, please join the Be Limitless community, and I'll see you around.